The worst moment was we had a nurse come round and we were talking about nappies. And she explained that when Eliza got to a certain age, we'd get a budget to be able to buy nappies for her. And I suddenly realised that that would be for the rest of her life. And that was the moment where, excuse me, but I just realised I can go on with work, looking after a severely disabled child, maintaining some degree of relationship with my partner. With Eliza's care, it's 24 hours a day. Knowing that she's been looked after and she's safe means that we can actually switch off from that a little bit as well.
Nationally, if we provide breaks to parents of a child with a palliative care need, it will save between 4 million and 14 million pounds a year. For
the first couple of years of her life, we had nothing. It was always believed that it'd be done through the family.
You see, this is a national scandal, Dan. You know, if you think that the cost of parents like you having to give up work is greater than the shortfall in funding between the breaks that you're entitled to and what local authorities are spending on breaks, that is a national scandal.
I think that the notion of respite, just the very notion of it, is a massive secret. People don't know about it. The idea of funding a rest for them is important. I don't think that people have that in their thinking a lot.
What we hear time and again from families like yours, Dan, is that they have to reach crisis point before they get any respite breaks from the local authority. 6 in 10 of you are getting no respite breaks at all. Yeah. And the 4 in 10 who are, 3/4 of those lost those breaks entirely during lockdown.
Yeah, we lost all of ours completely. We nearly lost all our overnight care as well. And that would have meant we would have gone to be in a completely isolated family away from everything.
There's a 430 million pound gap in between what parents like you are entitled to around the country, the amount of funding that local authorities are actually spending on short breaks.
There's a lot of stigma involved with approaching somebody and saying, I need help. A lot of families won't until they get to that point where there's nowhere else for them to go. Actually seeing the nurse turn up with a carer was, you know, the gates opened, sunlight came in and everything. It was just, it was a beautiful moment for us. It was very much needed. But if you could take that moment and then realise that there are families that have waited 2 or 3 years to see somebody turn up, that's quite shocking, really.
It's going to take some bravery for ministers to think long term. But the question I'd like to ask them all is, in whose interest is it to wait for more of these parents to split up or to develop a mental breakdown?
There aren't any opinions to be had on it. It's black and white, isn't it? The savings are obvious.
If I can stop one more family going through what we went through, for me, that'd be a win. I think there are more families out there who are just carrying on or trying to carry on, and they just don't know that the help's there as well.
We need some big picture thinking here. It's time for it. It's long overdue.